Details indicate that that man right now is being questioned as we speak at the Hubballi police station. Also, the local police there right now indicating that this possibly is not a very serious breach, because they underscore that almost anyone and everyone who is who's a part of that entire security periphery that you see there, barricades and all, they say everyone was vetted, everyone was searched, and it's only after proper sanitization that such people are allowed to stand there in close perimeter. But like I said, it's a huge security breach. We also do know now that an internal inquiry already has been ordered, and through our sources, we do know that the man who breached the security is also being questioned. There are some reports indicating that this man is apparently from the BJP itself. He's a BJP Karyakarta. He wanted to just garland the Prime Minister. But like I said, there is threat written all over these very, very worrying pictures. We'll try and see if we can get in our colleagues reporting live on that story. Prajwal, Abhishek have all been tracking that story. Also, all security experts have been indicating that the SPG here needs to be answerable and accountable for what actually went wrong. Let's quickly cut across to Prajwal. Prajwal, first up, tell us, have we heard anything from the local cops? I think the Hubballi Police Commissioner was speaking to the media. What has he said so far? Okay, for the moment, I think we have some trouble with that line. We'll get Prajwal back. Also requesting our team to get in our colleague Abhishek, who's been getting us a lot of inside track into what possibly has happened. Now, the initial information that Abhishek had shared with us is that a review already is underway of the entire episode. Also saying that the SPG team will fully analyze the breach along with the local police, who, remember, is responsible for the outer periphery of the security of the Prime Minister when he's visiting a state. What we also learned through our sources is that all people in the enclosure from where this boy/man actually came were properly frisked by the SPG. The reason why the local police indicates that this possibly was not a very, very serious breach. But like I said, God forbid, you're looking at a situation which is very precarious, and all these experts, security experts that we have spoken to, who hold a better view and understanding of what the Prime Minister's security is all about, say that this is nothing but sheer negligence. This is carelessness at multiple levels. They are also asking that how is it that this boy was allowed to come in such close proximity with the Prime Minister. He's in fact just a feet away. I mean, if you just look very closely at these images, he's that close. Prajwal is back with us. Prajwal, what more inputs do we have? A, on this man/boy, where is he? And what do the cops say, Prajwal?
Deepthi, now so far we get to understand that the police commissioner of Hubballi, Raman Gupta, has gone on to state that this is not a security breach. This is what he's still maintaining. And apart from that, sources in the know of the investigation are saying that this particular area where all this happened, where the incident took place, which is near the Gokul Road, is what we get to understand. Gokul Road is where this particular incident has happened while Prime Minister Modi was moving towards inaugurating the 26th edition of the National Youth Festival. And at this point of time, this particular person, who is in his mid-20s, is what is being confirmed as of now, has immediately rushed, breaking open this barricade. Look at the barricade there, Deepthi, right on the visuals. He was wearing a saffron shirt and he's holding a garland. It's a garland of flowers. It's finally being confirmed that this is a garland of flowers that he went towards Prime Minister Modi. He rushed towards the Prime Minister. And even if you see this, you can see that on the left side of our screens, we see the traffic police as well as the civil police. They're looking towards the left side of the crowd, but they're not looking towards the right side. So this particular youth has rushed from a diagonally opposite direction taking the cops by surprise. And even the SPG, who was there right at the front of the convoy, the SPG who's there, he was the first responder to this entire thing which happened. Meaning to say that he's cut across between two people. Two people, apart from the outer cordon of the Prime Minister, he's cut across even the SPG here and he's immediately rushed. And you were clearly pointing out, and so was Abhishek earlier, saying that he's just a feet away from the Prime Minister and anything could have gone wrong over there. And from what we understand now, sources are stating that this particular youth has already been taken to the police station. As of now, we get to understand that the police station's location is also not being stated because this has happened on the outskirts. So we do not know whether he's been taken to the town police station or is the police station which is on the outskirts of the city now. So this has to be confirmed here. And also for all the people who have come in here, it is being understood that they were frisked. There were also metal detectors and metal scanners. And after they were frisked and a complete security check was done.
Isn't there an alibi? Isn't there an alibi by the local cops to actually cover up this huge negligence? Because anyone who's looking at these pictures will only and only say that this is threat. This boy could have been absolutely anyone. We still do not have an official version on who this man is, what are his antecedents, what is his background. They obviously did not know that this man is carrying a garland, whether that is flowers, it's absolutely anything. So how is this not a security breach? I mean, how can the Hubballi police there even give themselves a clean sheet?
Absolutely, Deepthi. There are no second thoughts about it. There are no second thoughts. This is a security breach. This is a major security breach, in fact, because he's just 1 feet away from the Prime Minister. So this is a major security breach. But still, some of the sources are also pointing out that the youth had been given a clearance. So even if it had been clearance, definitely we know for the fact that nobody will be given a clearance to approach the Chief Minister when there is a convoy which is passing by and when there is the SPG nearby as well.
Okay, I think some bad network there with our colleague there who's trying to get you more details into what has happened so far. And even as we speak, like I said, this entire matter is under investigation at multiple levels. The man that you see there on your screens, dressed in saffron, is being interrogated right now. The SPG already has launched an initial review of what has happened, what needs to be done. And Prajwal, I think you're back with us now. You were saying.
Deepthi, we are getting this exclusive information now about the identity of the boy. The age of the boy is 11 years old and he has been identified as Kunal
11.
Suresh. So the identity of the boy has been revealed. He's 11 years old and his name is Kunal Suresh. So this is the official information that is coming in now, and he was also holding a flower garland. So the name, the identity of the boy has been revealed. 11-year-old Kunal Suresh. 11-year-old Kunal Suresh is the identity of the boy, and he hails from a village called as Thoraway Halli. So Thoraway Hakkalada Halli, meaning to say that from a village near Hubballi called as Thoraway Hakkalada Halli. It's right near the city, Deepthi. We get to understand that it's right near the city, and the boy's identity has been revealed. He has been, his identity has been revealed. He is 11-year-old Kunal Suresh now, and the cops, we get to understand, have had a word with him as well. So this is the breaking news that is coming in now, and this is the information. This is the official information that we are receiving from our sources now, that this is 11-year-old Kunal Suresh, a resident of Thoraway Hakkala Halli, which is in Hubballi town, which is right next to Hubballi town. So he was a small 11-year-old boy who managed to breach the security that was in place for the Prime Minister of India.
Prajwal, this is all the more serious. This is all the more serious. A boy just 11 years old is able to come that close, Prajwal, to the Prime Minister. I mean, if heads do not roll now, when would they? Now, tell me something. Was he there alone? Was he there with someone else, his parents? What do we know? What do we know about his background? Because initial information came in that he possibly could be linked to the BJP. Now, his parents, are they linked to the party or what? What do we know about his background?
These are very initial details that are trickling by. Even as we are speaking, we are getting more details. Both his parents are also residents of Hubballi, which I was saying. So Kunal Suresh's parents are also from Hubballi as well. But we do not know about any sort of affiliation with the party. We will have to wait for the police to give in an official confirmation now. But the boy has been identified as 11-year-old Kunal Suresh. So this has been confirmed now. This has been confirmed. Boy has been identified as 11-year-old Kunal Suresh. And now, how did he come here? Did he come along with his parents? Because this is a huge crowd. It's a massive crowd. So he should have definitely come there along with someone. But who is this someone now? Had he come along with his parents or any of his relatives? It's something which is now being taken into account as well, Deepthi. But these are very initial accounts. But also, we will have to think about the gravity of the situation here, stating that only a 11-year-old boy has been able to breach the security cordon. Imagine what a 11-year-old boy has done and what could have happened if there was anything else. What would it have led to as well? So this is definitely quite serious. But at this point of time, all that we can confirm is that all that we can say that he's a 11-year-old boy and he's a resident of Hubballi.
But Prajwal, obviously anyone looking at these images and these details now that you've got to us, that's breaking on the show that this boy who actually breached the Prime Minister's security and the innermost perimeter, who's able to rush through like that, carrying a garland in his hand, is all of 11 years old. So from which direction did he come in? What more information do we have about that particular enclosure? Who all were there in that enclosure? How many, police deployment actually was there? Do we have any idea, Prajwal?
Absolutely, Deepthi. When we are looking at this road where the convoy was passing through at that point of time, from our sources, we get to understand that this is the Gokul Road, which is one of the prominent roads in the city, where the Prime Minister's convoy was passing through. And if you look at these visuals very carefully, Deepthi, the boy has come in from a diagonally opposite direction, and therefore the sparks were taken by surprise. It was only the SPG. Let me remind you, it was only the SPG who were looking at it, and in the entire stretch of this road, for every 50 to 100 meters, there are two police personnel, one a traffic police personnel and one a civil police personnel, who is along this particular road, and this particular boy has jumped in between them from a diagonally opposite direction, jumped through the barricade and has come directly straight and has rushed through the convoy.
I think the entire focus is who allowed him. Who allowed him? Was he alone there? Were there more people with him? What does his family say? The reason why we will be on top of that story, Prajwal, for the moment, thank you so much for breaking those details for us. And from that big story, we are shifting our focus to the other big story that Republic is tracking this evening. Now, it's a special CBI court that has allowed Indrani Mukherjee application to verify the claims of advocate Sabina Bedi that she saw Sheena Bora. Yes, you heard that right. Now, the court has issued a notice to the director of the Guwahati airport and also sought the CCTV footage of the 5th of January 2023. Now, the airport authority also directed to ascertain the identity of the said woman in the video that has been submitted and also to inform the court. Indrani Mukherjee has spoken to Republic exclusively. Our colleague Sandeep has managed that big scoop. Sit back and listen to this very, very curious story developing.
See, the application was not filed today. The application was filed on the 6th of January, along with the affidavit and a video footage with a 65B certification of two lawyers who believed that the person they saw on the 5th of January in Guwahati airport resembled Sheena. Now, the reason for us to really take this forward and to submit it in court is because the person who feels that could be Sheena Bora was somebody who had worked with me earlier since 2007. She was in the legal department of INX. She's a very senior, well-respected advocate here. She knows Sheena Bora. So there is a possibility that it could be Sheena. And there have been so many circumstances during this case which kind of establishes that Sheena was definitely alive after April 2012. So that has been established in court already. Okay, so I do have a reason to believe it could be Sheena. Okay.
But the question out here is, you are the prime accused in this case, and coming up with such things, or someone associated to you, raises several questions. Is this an attempt to delay the investigation?
But how is it going to delay? The investigation is over. I think you should be aware of that the investigation was over. So there is, how can it be misguided? The evidence establishes, when the DNA expert has already come and said that he has fabricated the data of the DNA report. So what is there for anybody else to mislead, or to, there is nothing to mislead. So where the foul play is very evident, when now the Dr. Sanjay Thakur, who had conducted the post-mortem of the body which was alleged to be Sheena Bora's, he had cut open the skull, and here prosecution has produced a full skull. So we all know where the foul play is. We don't even, so I think, prosecution has done everything that needs to be done. So there is very little room for anybody else to make this case fall apart.
You as a mother, you still believe that Sheena is still alive?
See, I feel, okay, it is now what I feel, the court is not going to pass a judgment based on what I feel, but, or not what anybody else feels. And the thing is, the trial is going to move the way it is moving. We have not asked the trial to be stopped at any stage. We have not asked for the trial to be delayed. On the contrary, I would be very happy if, the trial has been put on fast track, because that kind of puts an end to all of this.
Republic, 47.3%. 394% more viewership for Republic TV than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy destroys the landing experiment. Republic TV, the All India #1.
एक आपने कॉन्सेप्ट दिया जी जनाब का.
I don't ever want to claim anything which is not done by me. I only cast my mind back to what General Patinkar and General Nirvay Sharma had done. What I did was that I took the Ji Janab. Ji Janab was not about saying Ji Janab to everyone. It was just a symbol, a name given to an operation to say, understand the Kashmiri environment, understand the culture, understand the sensitivities.
संपूर्ण ग्रंथ पर टिप्पणी नहीं है, ग्रंथ के उस अंश पर टिप्पणी है जो संपूर्ण 85-90% लोगों को शिक्षा से वंचित करता है.
Top headlines at 12:30. Republic confronts Bihar minister who insulted Ramcharitmanas. Minister says, in fact, remains defiant, justifies his remarks.
Ramcharitmanas was a nafrat फैलाने वाला ग्रंथ. Was a grant that was spreading hatred. This is not a coincidence, it is a conspiracy.
BJP hits out anger among Hindu community as Bihar minister insults Ramcharitmanas. After UK and Canada, hate graffiti now scribbled on the walls of Hindu temple in Australia's Melbourne. Back-to-back 3 incidents of snake, lizard and rats found in midday meal. BJP alleges funds misappropriation. Overnight rains bring more trouble. Cracks now seen in more houses and even in Karnprayag.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर। एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल राइफल्स में आए। प्योर हिंदू सोल्जर्स कम्युनिटी जो थी पूरी, उसमें एक अकेला मुसलमान। उनके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने उनसे पूछा, बंटवारे के अंदर आप क्या चाहेंगे, किसी मुस्लिम यूनिट के साथ, मुस्लिम रेजिमेंट के साथ पाकिस्तान आर्मी में जाने की? जवाब जो था बहुत जबरदस्त। मैंने सोच लिया मैं उस देश में जाऊंगा, मैं उस फौज में जाऊंगा जिसमें मजहब के लिए कोई अलग जगह नहीं है।
संपूर्ण ग्रंथ पर टिप्पणी नहीं है, ग्रंथ के उस अंश पर टिप्पणी है जो संपूर्ण 85-90% लोगों को शिक्षा से वंचित करता है।
Top headlines at 12:30. Republic confronts Bihar minister who insulted Ramcharitmanas. Minister says, in fact, remains defiant, justifies his remarks.
Welcome back. Now, this is a Republic exclusive. Images from Bengal that should shock absolutely anyone. Now, according to sources, about 15 crores hard cash has been recovered from a TMC MLA Zakir Hussein's house. Just look at these images on the extreme right of your screens. His office, his rice and oil mill, they were all searched in Murshidabad district. These were raids of the Income Tax Department. Several documents also have been seized. According to sources, all these documents right now are being examined. But like I said, this cash that you see on the right of your screens, ladies and gentlemen, amounts to a good 15 crores hard cash with a TMC MLA. It's also time for us to head into a quick break. On the other side, after receiving constant death threats, Nupur Sharma is seeking a gun license for her safety. Also, it's a Hindu temple that has been targeted in Australia. You see those images on your screens. This is Hindu hate graffiti scribbled on the temple's wall. This story developing from Melbourne. On the other side, more details also on this story.
एक आपने कॉन्सेप्ट दिया जी जनाब का।
I don't ever want to claim anything which is not done by me. I only cast my mind back to what General Patinkar and General Nupur Sharma had done. What I did was that I took the Ji Janab. Ji Janab was not about saying Ji Janab to everyone. It was just a symbol, a name given to an operation to say, understand the Kashmiri environment, understand the culture, understand the sensitivities.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर। एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल राइफल्स में आए। प्योर हिंदू सोल्जर्स कम्युनिटी जो थी पूरी, उसमें एक अकेला मुसलमान। उनके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने उनसे पूछा, बंटवारे के अंदर आप क्या चाहेंगे, किसी मुस्लिम यूनिट के साथ, मुस्लिम रेजिमेंट के साथ पाकिस्तान आर्मी में जाने की? जवाब जो था बहुत जबरदस्त। मैंने सोच लिया मैं उस देश में जाऊंगा, मैं उस फौज में जाऊंगा जिसमें मजहब के लिए कोई अलग जगह नहीं है।
संपूर्ण ग्रंथ पर टिप्पणी नहीं है, ग्रंथ के उस अंश पर टिप्पणी है जो संपूर्ण 85-90% लोगों को शिक्षा से वंचित करता है।
Top headlines at 12:30. Republic confronts Bihar minister who insulted Ramcharitmanas. Minister says, in fact, remains defiant, justifies his remarks.
Ramcharitmanas was a nafrat फैलाने वाला grant, was a grant that was spreading hatred. This is not a coincidence, it is a conspiracy.
BJP hits out anger among Hindu community as Bihar minister insults Ramcharitmanas. After UK and Canada, hate graffiti now scribbled on the walls of Hindu temple in Australia's Melbourne. Back-to-back 3 incidents of snake, lizard and rats found in midday meal, BJP alleges funds misappropriation. Overnight rains bring more trouble. Cracks now seen in more houses and even in Kanpriya.
The Kolar incident where a 24-year-old girl has been mowed down by a truck. This happened mainly because of the bad civic infrastructure. We are seeing that finally the authorities have woken up, and it has been over 1.5 hours since this particular incident has taken place. But will there be an end to Bengaluru civic apathy? That is something which needs to be seen, and many innocent lives are being lost at this point of time. So who will go on and question them, and will there be any sort of accountability over here? That is something which needs to be seen.
Republic, 47.3%. 394% more viewership for Republic TV than News 18 in Super Prime Time. Content supremacy destroys the landing experiment. Republic TV, the All India #1.
Prime Minister security breach during roadshow in Karnataka. Man rushes towards Prime Minister with a garland in hand. Man immediately pulled away by SPG, taken into custody. Sources suggest preliminary questioning is underway. After receiving constant death threats, Nupur Sharma seeks gun license for her safety. Income Tax Department raids TMC MLA Zakir Hussain, recovers 15 crore cash and several documents. And Bihar minister is the latest to join the Hindu hate brigade, insults Ramcharitmanas and remains defiant. After Canada and Leicester, Hindu temple now targeted in Australia. Hindu hate graffiti scribbled on temple's walls in Melbourne. Starting this edition with the top story of the day, there's been a massive controversy over the Bihar minister making hateful remarks on Ramcharitmanas. There is a huge anger over the comment. Bihar Chief Minister, when asked on the controversy, said that he has no idea about the statement by his Education Minister. In fact, Republic TV confronted the Bihar Education Minister over his insulting comment. Take a look at some of the reactions that are coming in.
मानस को लेकर के उन्होंने कहा कि ये विवादित ग्रंथ है।
हमको नहीं पता। चलिए अब हो गया, हमको नहीं मालूम।
सर बक्सर में जो घटना हुई इस पर क्या कहेंगे सर? सर बक्सर में जो घटना हुई है सर, दरभंगा में एम्स बनेगा सर।
बक्सर में क्या?
सर दरभंगा एम्स को लेकर सर बक्सर में सर पावर प्लांट में आग लगा दी गई है सर बक्सर में।
जो जमीन को लेकर विवाद अरे वो तो कह दिया गया उसको डीएम को, वो अपना सब कुछ देख रहा है पहुंच करके।
शिक्षा मंत्री बोले सर कि नफरत लेकर भी सवाल उठ रहा है कि
हमको
दरभंगा
पता नहीं है जी, हम देखे नहीं है।
शिक्षा मंत्री ने बोला है कि ये नफरत बोने वाला ग्रंथ है।
नहीं, हमको पता नहीं है, हम पूछ लेंगे उनसे।
ठीक सर, दरभंगा एम्स को लेकर बातें हो रही है कि दरभंगा एम्स कब तक बन जाएगा सर?
हाँ बनेगा। दरभंगा एम्स के लिए तो आप जानते ही न हैं, हम जो चाहते थे क्या जी, हम तो चाहते थे एम्स में इसको कन्वर्ट करना, जो हमारा दरभंगा का मेडिकल कॉलेज हॉस्पिटल हम तो ही ना चाह रहे थे, पहले मान लिए थे लोग, अब बाद में छोड़ दिए कि नहीं हम बनाएंगे, तो वहां पर बनाने की बात हुई कि वो रहेगा ही। तो अब हम लोगों ने तय कर दिया है कि भाई जहां पर वो है ना, उससे अलग एक दूसरा जगह पर हम लोग ले करके और बढ़िया से दे रहे हैं उनको, ताकि वहां पर बनेगा जिसमें ज्यादातर सुविधा होगी। और जो वहां पर ऑलरेडी है वहां वाला में अपना पहले से जो चल रहा है वो चलेगा। हाँ, और डेवलप करेंगे, उसको भी डेवलप करेंगे हम लोग, लेकिन और बाकी के लिए एक अलग जगह के लिए चुन लिया गया है।
जहाँ अशोक पेपर मिल है वो वहाँ पे सब विभाग
नहीं है, ये कहाँ पर है?
कहाँ पर?
कुछ नहीं।
आपने रामचरितमानस को
एक नफरत, आप अपनी बात को फिर से सुधारिए। विवादास्पद आप कह रहे हैं, मैं कहाँ कह रहा हूँ?
नफरत का ग्रंथ आपने
मैंने नफरत का ग्रंथ नहीं कहा, नफरत का अंश कहा है। उस ग्रंथ में नफरत के अंश हैं। उत्तरकांड में लिखा हुआ है, अधम जात में विद्या पाए, भयहु जथा ही दूध पिलाए। आप बताओ इसका क्या अर्थ है? कभी पढ़े हैं?
मैं तो नहीं पढ़ा, मैं तो नहीं पढ़ा, आप पढ़े हैं?
वही लोग बहस में लगे हुए हैं, जो पढ़ेंगे सब।
हम विवाद नहीं कर रहे हैं, साधु संत लोग बोल रहे हैं कि अपमानजनक है। मैंने तो नहीं पढ़ा है रामचरित, मैं ऑनेस्टली आपको बता रहा हूँ। आप पढ़े, मुझे याद है कल आप भाषण में दोहा में काफी बता रहे थे। लेकिन रामचरितमानस एक सेक्रेड ग्रंथ है, जैसा कि हिंदू धर्म के लोग मानते हैं, और संत लोग आपका विरोध कर रहे हैं इस बात को लेकर। भाजपा वाले भी विरोध कर रहे हैं।
संत लोग विरोध नहीं कर रहे हैं। संतों की पृष्ठभूमि देखिए किस बात की वो लोग विरोध कर रहे होंगे। कौन लोग हैं वो? क्या वो संत रैदास है? क्या वो संत पासवान है? क्या वो संत गुप्ता है? आप देखिए, क्या वो संत चौधरी है? क्या वो संत जायसवाल है? क्या वो संत शर्मा है? मतलब शर्मा, जो मेरा ये कहना है कि जो भी मैंने बात कही है, संपूर्ण ग्रंथ पर टिप्पणी नहीं है, ग्रंथ के उस अंश पर टिप्पणी है जो संपूर्ण 85-90% लोगों को शिक्षा से वंचित करता है। आज मोहन भागवत जी नागपुर से फतवा देते हैं कि शिक्षा से अहंकार बढ़ता है। क्या आपने देखा? आपने पढ़ा? ये बहस का मुद्दा बना।
रामचरितमानस को आप किस रूप में लेते हैं? आप ये बताइए।
मैं रामचरितमानस के उत्तरकांड के उस अंश का विरोध करता हूँ जिसमें लिखा हुआ है, धम्म जात में विद्या पाए, भयहु जथा ही दूध पिलाए। मैं रामचरितमानस के उस अंश को लेता हूँ जिसमें लिखा हुआ, जे बरनाधम तेली कुम्हारा, सपच की रात कोल कलवारा। बरन में नीच कौन कौन है? पहला नाम तेली का दिया है भैया। तेली, कहार, कुम्हार, कोल, कलवार, आदिवासी, दलित पराधीन सारे वंचितों को कहा है। और मनुस्मृति का दहन क्यों किए बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर? बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर भारत भूमि के प्रथम छात्र हुए।
Republic confronted Bihar Education Minister who insulted Ramcharitramanas by saying that it spreads hatred. Even as Republic confronted the minister on insult to Hindu, he remained defiant just while justifying his statement.
जो भी मैंने बात कही है, संपूर्ण ग्रंथ पर टिप्पणी नहीं है, ग्रंथ के उस अंश पर टिप्पणी है जो संपूर्ण 85-90% लोगों को शिक्षा से वंचित करता है।
Massive controversy over Bihar minister's insult to Hindus. BJP as well as Hindu community lashed out at Bihar minister's insult to Ramcharitramanas.
दुर्भाग्य है कि इस प्रकार के लोग बिहार के शिक्षा मंत्री के रूप में काम कर रहे हैं। उन सरकारों को इसके बारे में सोचना पड़ेगा जो कि नफरत की राजनीति खुद फैलाते हैं। राम हमारे लिए आदर्श हैं। वो एक पिता के रूप में, पुत्र के रूप में, पति के रूप में, भाई के रूप में जिन्होंने अपने सारे किरदार को सामने रखा, वो हमारे लिए प्रेरणा स्रोत है। तो मुझे लगता है कि इस तरह की बातें करना ये जानबूझ करके एक नफरत फैलाने की राजनीति है।
Amid massive controversy over the Bihar education minister's insult to Hindus, BJP parliamentarian Sushil Modi demanded Nitish government to sack the minister.
वो कहते हैं कि दलित विरोधी है, तो ऐसे शिक्षा मंत्री क्या संदेश देंगे छात्रों को, और वो भी सार्वजनिक रूप से इस प्रकार के कॉन्वोकेशन के अंदर भाषण दे रहे हैं। तो नीतीश जी ऐसे शिक्षा मंत्री को तत्काल बर्खास्त कीजिए, बीजेपी इसको बिल्कुल भी बर्दाश्त नहीं करेगी।
Back to back, 3 incidents of snake, lizard and rats found in midday meal in West Bengal. BJP has now alleged funds misappropriation by the Mamata government. Further, BJP demanded protection and safety to children. Uttarakhand's Joshimath is reeling under the worst situation. Cracks on walls, houses, roads, buildings continue to baffle residents as they wait for immediate solution to the crisis. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami visited Joshimath to assess the situation on ground, assuring safety to the residents. Dhami said the government is closely monitoring the situation and evacuation is their priority.
तत्काल रूप से हम 1.5 लाख रुपए की धनराशि फौरी तौर पर अंतरिम सहायता के रूप में दे रहे हैं सभी के खातों में। आज से ही उसको डाल देंगे। आज शाम तक जो है अधिकांश खातों में वो पैसा चला जाएगा, अन्यथा कल तक सभी में चला जाएगा। और उसके बाद जो कमेटी बनाई है यहाँ पर, वो कमेटी तय करेगी कि पहले भी आपदा के समय में जो लोगों के राहत के काम और पुनर्वास की जो व्यवस्था होती थी, जो रेट दिए जाते थे, उन्हीं रेटों पर हम अच्छे से अच्छा रेट यहाँ पर लोगों को देंगे।
Addressing the news conference, Army Chief said that we are keeping a close watch on the situation in Doklam and monitoring all the activities taking place there. Further, he stated that the situation with China is stable but also unpredictable.
Situation in the Doklam. Now, without going into the specifics of it, I would only want to mention that we are keeping a close watch on the situation there and monitoring all the activities that are taking place. Beyond this, I think I'll not be, there is nothing else I can share with you.
Addressing the news conference, Army Chief spoke on the situation at Joshimath. He stated that at least 25 to 28 buildings of the Army have developed minor cracks and the soldiers have been temporarily relocated. If they need it, they will be permanently relocated to Auli.
जो भी हमारी वहाँ पे फैसिलिटीज़ है, जो भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, जिस मात्रा में या जिस तरह से हम मदद कर पाएंगे वहाँ पर स्थानिक प्रशासन की, हम पूरा करेंगे। और ऐसे सिचुएशंस में हमने पहले भी पास्ट में भी पूरी तरह से मानवीय या फिर प्राकृतिक आपदा का सामना करने में पूरी मदद की है, तो उसी की तरह यहाँ पर भी हम करेंगे।
After Taliban's diktat on women right to education, Australia's cricket team has boycotted Taliban from the upcoming 3-match ODI series. Republic has accessed exclusive video of Myanmar bombs rebel camps near Mizoram border. According to sources, 5 members of the CNA camps lost their lives as 3 bombs exploded in the rebel camps. On the other side, after receiving constant death threats, Nupur Sharma seeks gun license for her safety. Also, after Canada and Leicester, Hindu temple now targeted in Australia. Hindu hate graffiti scribbled on temple's walls in Melbourne.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
एक आपने कॉन्सेप्ट दिया, जी जनाब का।
I don't ever want to claim anything which is not done by me. I only cast my mind back to what General Patinkar and General Nupur Sharma had done. What I did was that I took the Ji Janab. Ji Janab was not about saying Ji Janab to everyone. It was just a symbol, a name given to an operation to say, understand the Kashmiri environment, understand the culture, understand the sensitivities.
संपूर्ण ग्रंथ पर टिप्पणी नहीं है, ग्रंथ के उस अंश पर टिप्पणी है जो संपूर्ण 85-90% लोगों को शिक्षा से वंचित करता है।
Top headlines at 12:30. Republic confronts Bihar minister who insulted Ramcharitmanas. Minister says, in fact, remains defiant, justifies his remarks.
Ramcharitmanas was a nafrat फैलाने वाला ग्रंथ. Was a grant that was spreading hatred. This is not a coincidence, it is a conspiracy.
BJP hits out anger among Hindu community as Bihar minister insults Ramcharitmanas. After UK and Canada, hate graffiti now scribbled on the walls of Hindu temple in Australia's Melbourne. Back-to-back 3 incidents of snake, lizard and rats found in midday meal. BJP alleges funds misappropriation. Overnight rains bring more trouble. Cracks now seen in more houses and even in Kanprayag.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर। एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल
Getting into some more breaking news right now. Delhi airport P8 accused has now been identified. In fact, Republic has accessed the picture of the accused, Jauhar Ali Khan. On your screens, viewers, is Jauhar Ali Khan, who was scheduled to depart from Delhi on a flight to Daman. He was caught urinating publicly in front of the departure gate number 6 at IGI Airport T3 on 8th of January. Khan appeared to be in an inebriated state, also was abusing passengers. He was arrested and later released on a bail bond. This is the first picture of the accused that has now been accessed by Republic TV. Let me straight away go across to my colleague Madhurima is getting us the latest pictures. Madhurima and Harsha, who've accessed the latest details on this story. The accused was now caught urinating at the departure gate. Madhurima, take us to the details that you're picking up. The case was also registered by the Delhi police. It turns out that this person that viewers are seeing on the screen was later let off on a bail bond. What are the details that you have?
Absolutely, this particular passenger who was traveling to Damdam, it was at the gate number 6 of the Terminal 3 of the Indira Gandhi Airport where he went on. He was in drunk condition, and that has been substantiated by the Safdarjung hospital as well, as he was taken there, and the doctors in their report said that the person was indeed heavily drunk. Also, the police taking a swift action, registered an FIR and he was arrested. However, he got a bail after furnishing a bail bond. Also, what needs to be noted here is that he created a lot of nuisance around gate 6 of the IGI airport. Remember, from gate number 5, the international departures also begin, because 1 to 4 is for domestic and following with. So that also implies that a lot of international crowd was also a witness to this entire act by this particular person. He hails from Bihar, 39 years old, and when he was in drunk condition, he created a lot of uproar as well, and created a lot of nuisance and trouble for the people who were at the airport. However, the airport authorities and the police officials took swift notice of his actions and took him, first detained him, then arrested him. However, he has got a bail bond, but he has been given a strict notice of.
Nupur Sharma granted gun license. Nupur gets gun license amid death threats. Is the threat to Nupur Sharma's life acceptable? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
एक आपने कॉन्सेप्ट दिया जी जनाब का.
I don't ever want to claim anything which is not done by me. I only cast my mind back to what General Patinkar and General Nupur Sharma had done. What I did was that I took the Ji Janab. Ji Janab was not about saying Ji Janab to everyone. It was just a symbol, a name given to an operation to say, understand the Kashmiri environment, understand the culture, understand the sensitivities.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर. एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान. जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं.
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल राइफल्स में आए. प्योर हिंदू सोल्जर्स कम्युनिटी जो थी पूरी, उसमें एक अकेला मुसलमान. उनके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने उनसे पूछा, बंटवारे के अंदर आप क्या चाहेंगे, किसी मुस्लिम यूनिट के साथ, मुस्लिम रेजिमेंट के साथ पाकिस्तान आर्मी में जाने की? जवाब जो था बहुत जबरदस्त. मैंने सोच लिया मैं उस देश में जाऊंगा, मैं उस फौज में जाऊंगा जिसमें मजहब के लिए कोई अलग जगह नहीं है.
संपूर्ण ग्रंथ पर टिप्पणी नहीं है, ग्रंथ के उस अंश पर टिप्पणी है जो संपूर्ण 85-90% लोगों को शिक्षा से वंचित करता है.
Top headlines at 12:30. Republic confronts Bihar minister who insulted Ramcharitmanas. Minister says, in fact, remains defiant, justifies his remarks.
Ramcharitmanas was a nafrat फैलाने वाला ग्रंथ. Was a grant that was spreading hatred. This is not a coincidence. It is a conspiracy.
Spokesperson Nupur Sharma has received a license to carry a gun for self-defense. She had earlier claimed to receive death threats for her comments on Islam. She alleged that she has been receiving the death threats to her family and herself. Sharma has been not active on social media and has kept a low profile since June last year. Well, in fact, the latest development coming in that with numerous death threats that were received by the suspended BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma, it has now been confirmed that she's received the license from the Ministry of Home Affairs. In fact, we'll try and go across to our reporters on the ground, Piyush Mishra, who's also spoken to Naveen. Remember, the other BJP spokesperson who was suspended has also spoken to Republic TV. We'll try and play out that reaction, that exclusive reaction coming in from Nupur Sharma's colleague, who was also suspended along with her for making those comments. In fact, remember, there was a massive outrage, international outrage over the comment that was made by Nupur Sharma. But thereafter, we've seen a series of killings that have taken place also. And not to forget that over the last few months, there have been an increased threat that was faced by Nupur Sharma. The question that one needs to ask is that why exactly will Nupur Sharma have to fend for herself? The fact that the matter has also been settled. Remember, this had gone to the highest court with regards to the threats that she was actually receiving and the multiple FIRs that were registered. In fact, Delhi police finally was given the authority to carry on the investigation in this entire matter. Let's try and play out the reaction that has been given by Naveen to my colleague Piyush Mishra, who spoke to a short while back. In fact, the latest details that we are getting in right now with regards to the licensing process, we've been told that she had applied for an individual license which has now been granted by the Ministry of Home Affairs. That's the latest that we're getting in on this entire matter. Remember, Nupur Sharma received multiple threats. In fact, she had also knocked at the doors of the Delhi police to look into this entire matter. Also moved an application before the Apex Court. And finally, all the FIRs that were registered against him were basically clubbed together. And finally, Delhi police was tasked to investigate this entire matter.
I'm reporting from Nursing Temple, which is also becoming one of affected area. First, let me give you a sense. There you can see the security of Chief Minister's Dhami. He has just done the puja over here and now meeting with some of the people over down over there only. And let me tell you that if we talk about the update, yes, he stayed overnight. He was in Joshimath itself. Yesterday also he had meeting with the locals. He had meeting with the administration, and today it is again going to be the meetings after meeting. The series of meeting is already lined up at the ITBP campus itself in Joshimath, where he stayed last night. And let me tell you that this is going to be the meeting with the local administration, with the local people also, because the local people has also made in the committee and the representative of them is going to be there in this very meeting. This is going to be the district magistrate of Chamoli. This is going to be the secretary. This is going to be the local administration who is going to share this particular meeting.
On the other side, Bihar minister is the latest to join the Hindu hate brigade, insults Ramcharitmanas and remains defiant. After Canada and Leicester, Hindu temple now targeted in Australia. Hindu hate graffiti scribbled on temple walls in Melbourne.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
एक आपने कॉन्सेप्ट दिया जी जनाब का।
I don't ever want to claim anything which is not done by me. I only cast my mind back to what General Patinkar and General Nupur Sharma had done. What I did was that I took the Ji Janab. Ji Janab was not about saying Ji Janab to everyone. It was just a symbol, a name given to an operation to say, understand the Kashmiri environment, understand the culture, understand the sensitivities.
संपूर्ण ग्रंथ पर टिप्पणी नहीं है, ग्रंथ के उस अंश पर टिप्पणी है जो संपूर्ण 85-90% लोगों को शिक्षा से वंचित करता है।
Top headlines at 12:30. Republic confronts Bihar minister who insulted Ramcharitmanas. Minister says, in fact, remains defiant, justifies his remarks.
Ramcharitmanas was a nafrat फैलाने वाला grant, was a grant that was spreading hatred. This is not a coincidence, it is a conspiracy.
BJP hits out anger among Hindu community as Bihar minister insults Ramcharitmanas. After UK and Canada, hate graffiti now scribbled on the walls of Hindu temple in Australia's Melbourne. Back-to-back 3 incidents of snake, lizard and rats found in midday meal, BJP alleges funds misappropriation. Overnight rains bring more trouble, cracks now seen in more houses and even in Kanprayag.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर, एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल राइफल्स में आए। प्योर हिंदू सोल्जर्स कम्युनिटी जो थी पूरी, उसमें एक अकेला मुसलमान। उनके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने उनसे पूछा, बंटवारे के अंदर आप क्या चाहेंगे? किसी
Nupur Sharma granted gun license. Nupur gets gun license amid death threats. Is the threat to Nupur Sharma's life acceptable? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Hello and welcome. You're watching the biggest story tonight with me, Shavan said. Tonight we'll get you those exclusive visuals from the Indo-Myanmar border where there were aerial strikes that were carried out by Myanmar military junta against the rebel camps. For the first time, Camp Victoria was bombed by the military junta, affecting also the locals on the Indian side. We are also going to go across to the locals in Mizoram who've been affected because of the aerial bombings. But up first, these are the headlines we're tracking for you at this hour. Prime Minister's security breached during roadshow in Karnataka. Man rushes towards Prime Minister with a garland in hand. Man immediately pulled away by SPG, taken into custody. Sources suggest preliminary questioning is underway. After receiving constant death threats, Nupur Sharma seeks gun license for her safety. Income Tax Department raids TMC MLA Zakir Hussain, recovers 15 crore cash and several documents. And Bihar minister is the latest to join the Hindu hate brigade, insults Ramcharitmanas and remains defiant. After Canada and Leicester, Hindu temple now targeted in Australia. Hindu hate graffiti scribbled on temple's walls in Melbourne. Starting the edition with that top story, our exclusive coming in from the Indo-Myanmar border. On Tuesday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, there were strikes that were carried out. This time, it was by the Myanmar military junta against the rebel camps. They bombed the CNA, the camp near Mizoram border. Sources say the CNA camps on Mizoram border struck and 5 members of the CNA are dead in the strike. As per sources, 3 bombs exploded in the rebel camp. 5 bombs that were dropped in the CNA camp, 3 bombs exploded inside the CNA camp. What you right now see on the left side of your screens the aerial bombings that were basically done. There have been 5 fatalities inside the CNA camp. 12 people have been injured is what we are being told. CNA cadres have basically dispersed outside the camp. They've taken shelters in bunkers. The rebel camp that was struck by Myanmar, it is basically the headquarter of the Chin National Army that was targeted. The rebel camp is located closer to the India border. Now what you see right now is the damage that was inflicted in the areas. This is near the Tisa River, where you're seeing a truck that was parked and splinters all across, and that's led to this kind of damage right now. Also, we're given to understand that the rebel camps, not just in the border areas, have been targeted. There are other rebel camps that have also been targeted by the military junta. We'll try and go across to my colleague Anirudh, who's also getting us the latest details. We'll also try and bring in Major Gaurav Arya on this big story that's developing. So far, we've not heard anything from the Indian side, but what's essentially happening on the ground is the fact that you do have the locals who have been affected, and we're now being told by the Mizoram government that efforts are essentially being made to move the locals away from that area. Anirudh, just take us through the latest details that you're picking up right now.
Yes, Avan. In fact, this airstrike, the visuals that we are showing happened on 10th of January. That is day 4 yesterday, and the intensity of the airstrike was such that vehicles which were actually moving on the road inside the Indian territory were also partially damaged. The windshield of the truck can be seen broken, and these visuals which now we are showing on our screen are of the CNA camp, that is the Chin National Army camp, which was actually the target of the Myanmar junta army when they carried out this airstrike. And we are getting to know that 5 CNA rebels were killed in this airstrike carried out by the military junta. Remember, since the last year, there have been several outfits trying to gain ground, trying to gain control of the military control Myanmar, as they were fighting for the pro-democracy forces are getting stronger. The military, the junta, have carried out an all-out crackdown, and very close to this area where this airstrike was carried out on 10th of January. Last year also, we have seen that in the Rakhine state, the military junta carried out airstrike and destroyed several which has taken place on 10th of January. And yesterday also, we have got confirmation from several sources close to the border that yesterday also at around 4 p.m. in the evening, similar airstrike was carried out in the Chin state. However, that airstrike was very much inside the territory of Myanmar and not at all close to the Indian border. Meanwhile, the Indian security agencies are mainly focusing on the aspect that no fresh influx happens from Myanmar, so that no rebels or civilians from Myanmar can come inside Mizoram, and that aspect is being strictly monitored, and the security forces have been asked to be on high alert to ensure that no fresh influx happens. Security have also confirmed to us, Avan, that no influx, as far as rebels are also concerned, no influx happened.
I'll just take a quick word also, Anirudh, from General K.K. Sidha, who's joining us on this broadcast. General K.K. Sidha, it's a Republic Super exclusive where we have got full details of the military action that has now been taken, but many would essentially say that this is yet another attempt that has been made by the military junta to try and consolidate its power, because what is essentially happening is that the pro-democratic forces are now facing the brunt of it. Their camps are being targeted, training camps are being targeted, but this is very, very close to the Indian border.
Good evening. This is a development which is taking place. And if you know, this is, MSTN camp, I was told it is a whether Kaplang or Isaac Mobi. Basically, it is Kaplang, which is on other side along the Raudway River and the Chindwan River. See, these camps are well within the, Myanmar border. And we have got also, concern about these, rebel groups are basically they're operating in India, especially into the